bumming with Bob. Let's have a few brews. We'll have some fun with the Bum Wine Crew. So kick your feet up and grab you a beer. 'Cause damn, man, I'm glad that you're here.
All right. This is Bum Wine Bob. Welcome to an all-new edition of Bum with Bobcat on the Bum Wine Bob YouTube channel and on all your favorite podcast apps. So do us a favor, spread the word, tell your friends that the best of the worst in cheap booze is right here on Bum with Bobcat. Bum wine, beers, 40s, malt liquor, all the stuff you grew up on, we cover each and every week here on the podcast. And stay tuned because we are right around the corner from the Edward 40 Hands Challenge to celebrate hitting over 1,000 subscribers as the numbers keep ticking up each and every day. So if you're new to the Bum Wine Bob YouTube channel, cheers. Thanks for joining us here today. And tell your friends to hop on board. It's free. Spread the word. The best of the worst in cheap booze is right here. And as we get the party started, we have our good buddy here. He's recovered from last week's extravaganza on the podcast. In the chair once again is Roadhouse is here. Roadhouse, man, how you doing?
Hello, sir. I'm doing pretty good. You're right. I did recover. It was by far the roughest one I've had in a while. But, we did it for the people.
The people love to see it. The people love to hear it. So, hey, we'll drink to that. See,
Right.
And we made sure today to fully coordinate our schedules so we did not run into this issue again. So, Anybody out there who might be, but you never know what might happen. That's the thing. It could go.
Right.
You could get that way anyway. So you never know what's going on here. But as we said, we are getting closer and closer to the Edward 40 Hands Challenge. We're just locking down the day and time for the big extravaganza to happen here live on the Bum Wine Bob YouTube channel. We have some friends of ours that are going to be joining us for the festivities. And if you're out there, you're listening, and you want to crack open a 40 of your choosing, pick your poison, bring it along, and join us for the challenge.
The more the merrier.
So bring them on there.
Yep.
And get the party started. But I know you were out there. You've been out there searching. You were going high and low for some 40s, seeing, okay, what are we going to drink for the podcast for the Edward 40 Hands Challenge? I went out the other day. I think I'm pretty solid. I think I'm pretty much set on the two that I'm going to use for the Edward 40 Hands. We're not gonna spoil it here today. You got to tune in to see what gets picked for it. But Roadhouse was teasing it last week before things went off the rails that he was out there doing some searching and found some goodies in his travels. So I don't know if you want to do a little show and tell for us here of at least the first thing of what you have to bring along to drink with us today.
I was down in Tennessee, just outside of Memphis in Millington, Tennessee, last week, and popped into a store, get some fuel to get ready to come home. Took a quick browse around the back of the room to see what was in the coolers, and it wasn't anything that I hadn't seen before, but it was something that I hadn't seen in that product. And one of them would be the 32-ounce can of Colt 45.
Ooh, man, look at that guy, man. That's
oil can.
That's the big boy there. Yeah, I've never seen a 32-ounce can in my travels.
No.
Colt 45. I've had the 32-ounce bottles one time. I found one of those, I think, down in Ocean City, Maryland, years ago. I found one in a store, and I was like, oh, shit, like, I could the 40s, but I saw the 32-ounce bottle. I'm like, oh, shit, I got to get this.
Sure.
But I've never seen a 32-ounce can of the Colt 45s around in my travels.
So it's got March 10th of 25 on the bottom.
Okay.
So we're well within the window. And the other thing I found which I've had before, and I found it around here, but it's very sparingly, is some Hurricane.
So the Hurricane High Gravity, the 25 ounce there,
Yes.
the big one, as
Yeah.
they call it over there. See,
8.1.
they do not have Hurricane by me. I cannot get Hurricanes on the regular. Those are the ones I always have to go out to. If I go to Pennsylvania, I can get them out there. Either the 25 ounce cans. The one
Yeah.
store had the 12 pack of the 12 ounce cans that I got a couple times, and then every once in a while I'll find a 40 of
Yeah.
Hurricane. Both, I don't know if I got both of them there. I know I had the High Gravity there, but then also the regular Hurricane as well. The non-high gravity version is another rare one.
Right.
I have the I kept the empty bottles I have over here of those two of the 40s, because I was like, I can't get rid of these because I don't see them that often. So
Right.
I can look over here and see them, and wish and hope that I could find those and enjoy them again, or
Yeah.
with 40 hands. So
And last week, I think I teased on it a little bit, but I also had found the 40 ounces of Steel Reserve at the same store.
see, I got
And
Steel Reserve hat representing the Steel
yeah,
Reserve this week. And then I also heard you had a little bit of some casualties with the cold weather over there, with some bottles that might have not taken too nice to the cold.
so my garage, my barn fridge or outside fridge, uh, I lost two 40s of King Cobra to freezing, and they blew the top straight off of them. And so they
So
must have geysered inside there, because it's just a golden slushy mess in there.
yeah, I wasn't sure how, when you told me that the top popped off of it, I wasn't sure exactly what that meant. If
Oh,
there was any,
it
there was
just
nothing,
blew the
there was nothing to save from that. I mean,
well.
I guess you can take the slushy mess and drink that.
I've got one of them sitting in the kitchen sink right now, and
Okay.
it was super frosted over. So that's been a couple hours since I told you that. It may be thawed out enough to drink. I don't know, but
Yeah, by the
I'm
morning,
not going to let it go to
I was gonna
waste.
say by the morning it might be fine. Perfect way to start the day.
The only thing that came out was all the water. The alcohol's still in the bottom.
Yeah. So that
I'm assuming.
the important stuff, I don't know. I don't know how it works. How is it in the bottle? Nobody knows really, but
It's,
it'll
to
be,
me, in my mind, that's the good stuff
the
that's
important
left
stuff there
behind.
is, you'll make do, and you'll try to get through the rest of it over there. So we'll see,
Sure.
because that's the worst feeling. I haven't had that happen. I mean, knock on wood, I haven't had that happen to me, but and that's always we say. There's always that fear of the alcohol abuse or the waste or something like that. You go into the fridge, and all of a
Yeah.
sudden you just see this mess, and you're like, how does this happen? How does this just pop open and then explode all over the place?
I knew better.
Yeah.
I mean, I really did. I just had been so busy and forgot all about it. And then I was like, crap. I was out by there today, and I walked right by it. And I opened it up and was like, shit.
I was gonna say, it wasn't like you had it in the freezer, because I saw pop up on my news feed the other day that Vanilla Ice, I guess, is promoting some sort of new drink,
Okay.
and you can text a number, and it will text you back in 34 minutes. Uh, like for people that want to put their drinks in the freezer, he's like, how many people have lost beers to a freezer of putting it in there and forgetting it's in there and explodes, or it's solid.
Yeah.
And you can text this number that Vanilla Ice is putting out there, and then he'll text and it will text you back in 34 minutes to remind you to get your drink out of the freezer, so you don't have some sort of an incident like this
That's
where
classic.
it explodes. I'll see if I can find. I was trying to find where it was. I'm looking at his page now, but it's something he's promoting
That's
now.
classic.
So I saw that the other day. I'm like, that's not a bad idea, because sometimes you don't know. You start drinking, you put the stuff in the freezer. Like we were talking a few weeks ago. I'm like, I came home, I had the beers that were warm. I wanted to cool them down quick, so I tossed them in the freezer. But you get
Hmm.
sidetracked, you forget about it. You come back a couple hours later, the thing's frozen. You're like, shit. Then you put it in the sink, waiting for it to thaw out and hoping for the best.
Well, good for him for doing that,
Yeah,
taking care of all
doing a
this.
service for it there.
Yeah.
So what are you gonna start with over there? You're gonna start with
I guess I'm
with
gonna
the
just bust into this high gravity since it's nice and cold.
there you go.
And
So high gravity started high there. I mean, now I
yeah,
was doing a little pregame action here, diving into the fridge with the country club, the well, they call it that sweet lager, but we all know it's
yeah,
really a malt liquor
yes, it
over
is.
here. As I was going through, and sadly cannot find these in 40 ounces at this time. So at this moment, it will not be taking part in the Edward 40 hands. So hey, we'll drink to it anyway. So,
Yeah.
so all right, cheers.
Cheers. To be expected.
Yeah, that taste. Now that's where you get that taste of the high gravity in a high
Yeah,
gravity,
yeah.
unlike the American Rebel.
The American Rebel, which I actually had one of those earlier today, just one,
Okay, was it
and
cold?
it was ice cold, yes.
Okay.
And I'm gonna get through them just one at a time.
Yeah, one a day. One a day is what the doctor ordered
I
there.
think,
So
today when I was drinking it, I kind of figured they were going for that amber taste, kind of like amber Bach.
yeah.
Remember those?
Hmm.
They had that very. I kind of get that, and then the apple, and I kind of think I know where they were trying to get to with that, but
Yeah. Hey, but if they want to come on here and talk about
sure,
it, we're
sure,
more than happy to have what was it,
set us
Andy
straight.
Ross promoting, whoever's promoting wants to come on here and chat about it. Feel
Yeah,
free. I still haven't
yep.
seen it around here. We saw they only have that limited market for it right now. So unless
And
it
there's really
expands,
nothing online about it.
yeah. Yeah, really. I looked on YouTube for
Yeah,
any reviews on it, and there was nothing out there. No reviews. There were some clips of either Andy Ross or somebody else promoting it on like news stations, maybe earlier, like last summer around that point, probably when they started the push for it.
okay.
But there was no beer reviews out there on YouTube. But we are out there with ours, so we can say we were the first people on YouTube to have a review of the American Rebel Light beer on YouTube. So
And I wanted to like
yeah,
it so much.
I know. I know. I know. You saw that case and
Yeah,
everything, and you're like, "Oh man, this is gonna be great. This is America." And it's no
it
real
is.
American beer, but
Yes.
it could be pretty damn close to it. It could hold you over until that time comes when it shows up, but it was not meant to be. So,
Mm-mm.
so we'll see. But even though Roadhouse cracked open a high gravity over there, I was going through the fridge and I had one drink in here that I was not going to use this for the Edward 40 hands, but there it is. We got the
Yes.
Crooked Eye, the Saint Ides that people were asking about after I posted that picture of the King Cobra and the Saint
Hmm.
Ides. There it is. See, look at that. Look at that eye right there through the
Yep.
back of the bottle. That guy there. So this is a little warm up, a little Edward 40 hands challenge, like
Little
train. It's like
train.
it's like a trading session
Yeah.
here today. Well, you're pretty damn close. You got the 32-ounce can of Colt
Yeah.
45, so you're only 8 ounces away from it.
Okay.
And we know you're a skilled
If I drink them both,
drinker,
I'll be
so
hitting 57 ounces. So
yeah. So right. You got the 25, you got the 32,
yeah.
but I got the other high gravity, that St. Ides, that crooked eye here, and I was like, screw it, let's get a little wild here, let's get a little crazy, and let's get that hype train going for the Edward 40 hands. And I could smell, even before I even took the cap off fully and I started to twist it, I could smell the aroma coming through the top.
Isn't that's some of the
that
best
bottle there? Ooh, man, yeah, that's there you go, right there. There's that crooked eye cap right there.
St. Ides is unique all to itself.
It is, and I wish they would promote this more. That if you look at the St. Ides Instagram, they're really promoting all these the CBD drinks, and like they have all these like high drinks, and stuff like that. They all have the classic logo, and they still have the logos in the shop. You can buy the merchandise, but they're really pushing all these the cannabis infused drinks and CBD type stuff. But we want to see you guys, come on, bring back the focus on the classic high gravity malt liquor. This is what brought you guys to the game right here. So keep it going. So you can smell it. It's good. It smells good. So it's time to take a sip of that high gravity, that St. Ides. So let's get our high gravity. Ooh, look at that.
There you go.
Look at that. Look at those bubbles.
Nice and cold.
Right there. That is cold, yeah. Ooh, as I was like, when we were talking about planning for the 40 hands.
Yes.
And how cold do you want the 40s to be? Because it's winter.
It is winter.
It's 20 degrees outside. This is when we're going to be doing it. It's within the next few weeks. So it's not getting any warmer anytime soon.
And I don't know about your room, but my room's pretty cold where I sit.
Yeah, it's cold. It's cold here too. That's why even before I took, usually I would take it, throw it in the freezer for a little bit to get it extra chilled. Yes. But today I'm like, you know what? It's been in the fridge for weeks now. There's no need for that. And got this one right before the date. We got a January 13th, 25 date on this.
Yeah.
So made it just in time before. Not that it's going bad. We all know that, but to get it before that date is up.
So I was, talking about us getting ready to do Edward 40 hands, and I was with the guys at work, and I said, I'd love to find me a set of Hulk hands. And he's like, I've got one. I don't have two, though. And I was like, well, one might work. Oh, wow, that snuck up on me.
Yeah.
That would be the one you get really super ice cold, hold it in the Hulk hand, and then pound the first one.
Yeah. Yeah, right. Then the other one will be right at the right temperature.
Yeah.
Before it gets to that point out there.
I've seen other people's strategies where they try to go back and forth between the two and bring them down together. And that sometimes seems to backfire. There's all kinds of strategies with Edward 40.
There is.
Whatever the result is, when both of them are gone, you're the winner.
Yeah. Yeah. So if you want to see, Roadhouse was saying last time, he wants to see somebody hop on here to really put, give him a run for his money.
Yeah,
over here, really see, because he's confident over here. Now you want to knock him down a peg and show him who's boss. Then join in. Open challenge to anybody. Yeah, open challenge to anybody who wants to join in for the Edward 40 hands challenge. As we said, bring your choice. Bring your choice of 40-ounce beverage. You want a beer, malt liquor, doesn't matter. If it's in a 40-ounce bottle, it's fair game. If you want to
it's not a big deal to drink 2 40s in the evening. But there's something in your mind when you make it a competition and they're both in your hands, you can't set them down. That's a challenge in itself that plays tricks on you.
Yeah, they got to worry about the bathroom time and everything. You're like, a lot of things start coming through. I mean, that's a lot of liquid to go down.
Yeah.
So I mean, do you want to go with the 8.2? Do you want to go with the high gravity stuff? You want to go with the St. Ides or a Steel Reserve, something up there, or do you keep it with the right here? Look at this. You can go King Cobra, St. Ides. Pick your poison of what you want to pick for the challenge.
The last time I played, it was with St. Ides, and it didn't have a good turnout. It was a good turnout, but it was, it was whooping that ass.
Yeah.
And I think with the King Cobra, which I wanted to do, one Colt 45 and one King Cobra, because the brown bottle, you don't know how much is in it. You have to really study on it to really see. At least
Very
with the clear bottles,
people.
you see your disappointment the whole time. I thought I drank more than
right.
that.
When it's exactly. If the light's not hitting this bottle at the right angle, you can't really. You can only judge by the weight of it, of how heavy it is, how much is left. Now with this guy, you can see right here with those clear glass bottles, but
all that will play tricks on you.
Yeah, a lot of strategy that goes into this, so you never know what might happen. And as you said, it doesn't have to be a high gravity; it can be a regular malt liquor, regular beer. So you go out there, you go searching. I was looking the other day, and like I said, I think I found my two that I'm going with. I picked them up, I got them in the fridge, but we're always out there searching, still, no matter what. So I was out the other day, and I stopped at a store I hadn't been to in a while because this was the store. It used to be a Quick Check, and I've talked about this store before. That 10 years ago, it had a great selection of single 24-ounce beers, 40s, and cheap. Like they had the Ice House Edges for 99 cents at one point, and then they had 99-cent Bud Ices after that, the 25-ounce cans. And sadly, in the summer of 2023, they lost their lease, so they closed. They were closing the store, and the only good thing was that the alcohol was all discounted, and I got a 30-pack of hams for like 12 or 13 bucks. So that's that right there. That's a great win in that case. But sad that the store closed because it's a convenience store, and since it's a bigger chain, it's usually cheaper. So somebody else finally took over the store instead of a Quick Check, and now it's like a Quick Stop or those generic convenience store names. And I hadn't been there because I don't go around that area too often. But the other night I was by there. I'm like, you know what? Let me go in and take a look at this store because I didn't know if there was anything worthwhile in there, but you don't know unless you go in and you look.
Absolutely.
So I pulled in to the parking lot. It's pretty much empty. Now, when this was a Quick Check, the place was always packed. You couldn't find a parking spot. I go in here, there's nobody in the lot. So I'm like, okay, first thing, that's like strike one. All right. So I go in, there's a couple guys standing by the register, like, hey, how you doing? Hey. So I walk to the back cooler. I'm looking around, and first thing that threw me off was that the shelves in this store were like so high, like where the wine and the alcohol was. They were like so high, like they went up so high towards the ceiling, and it looked very awkward with it because I know how it was laid out before. Most of the shelves only went up to like eye level, and you could see over it and across to the other side of the store. So I'm looking around. I'm like, this is just really odd how they had this whole place laid out. And I go to the back cooler and I look at the 40s, and I'm going down at the bottom shelf. There's a 40 of Steel Reserve, and I look at the price on it. It was $3.99 for a 40 of Steel Reserve.
Oh my God.
And then I look over to the other side of the cooler where they have the tall boys, and there's a can of Bud Ice there for $3.49.
Come on.
For
Did you just turn around and walk out?
Essentially, yes. And I keep looking. Okay, there was a Natty Daddy for $1.49. I'm like, okay,
Okay.
that's not terrible, but still. And I'm looking through all these prices. Even the 12 packs of like a Coors Banquet was like $16. And I'm looking at all the prices, and I'm like, this is terrible. I'm like, I went out 2 days prior to a different store. I picked up the 240s that I'm going to use, and it was like $6.26, I think, was what I paid for 240s.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like $2.49 and like $2.89 was like the price for each of them individually. So I'm looking at the thing. I'm like, and like we always say, we try not to walk out empty-handed at most
Correct.
stores just to buy something, but in this case, for whatever reason, it really just got to me about it. And I'm walking out towards the front, and the guy is like, "Oh, are you looking for anything?" And I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm like, "No, I'm not." I was like, "No, I'm just looking." He's like, "Oh, can I help you with something?" I said, "You have a Steel Reserve 40 for $4." I said, "I'm
Yeah.
out of here." And then I walked
Yeah.
out the door because I'm
Yeah.
like, I was not expecting that. And that it was just an outrageous price for it. And I don't know why it got to me so much, but just something about it just really, really grind my gears to that level that it upset me that I walked out and I had to make that comment to him like, how are you selling a 40-ounce Steel Reserve for $3.99 when that one's usually like the lowest price one
Sure.
in the cooler, like
Yeah.
$2.49 at like most
Yeah.
stores. And I got in the car and I'm like, okay, I'm never coming back here again. Like it's no, I have more than enough stores to go to. I'm like, this one, okay, you're off the list.
So I just looked up when I stopped at that little gas station down in Millington and got 240s of Steel Reserve, 4 oil cans of Colt 45, and 2 cans of Hurricane, and it cost me $22.30.
Okay.
All right, that's legit.
Yeah, that's good. Right. That was what
Yeah,
was it? It was two, two,
240s
two.
of Steel Reserve,
Okay.
2 Hurricanes, and
Okay.
4 Colt 45 oil cans.
Okay. Yeah, that's a great haul for
Yeah.
just over $20
Yep.
for that.
22.30. I just brought it up where I paid for it.
Yeah, I was gonna say, yeah, you went to the same store, you bought just a couple 40s of Steel Reserve, you would have been over that.
Yeah.
But that was just very upsetting. And like I said, it shouldn't have gotten me as upset
No, but it's
as it
discouraging.
did. But it was just something about the store was just, and even a store where the guy hit me with the door was much better than this, which is where I bought this, was at the store where the guy hit me with the door
This
when I'm
is,
looking at the
we're drinking the working man's drink.
right.
The uh, stretching our pennies, trying to get the most bang for the buck. We stress it over
Mm-hmm.
and over. And that's just a kick in the balls.
Yeah.
It
And I
is.
think I had like three. I think I had like cash wise on. I think I had like $3 and some like change from the car. So I
Sure.
kind of gathered it up because I'm like, if I can get something to one can for this, and I don't have to break out the card to pay for something, I'll do that. But going in there and it was just like looking at the store and the shelves, and it there was something beeping in the store constantly. It had the smell of the the heat smell, like the heater was on and it wasn't working properly. And there's guys standing by the cooler door. There's nobody in the store. I overheard some lady asking about Chef Boyardee. and, and I'm just like, what the fuck is this place? I'm like, when this place it used to be like a go-to spot
Yeah.
for cheap booze and
Buddy.
stuff. Yeah, and I'm just like, I gotta get out of this place. And I'm like,
That's
it was just
awesome.
like, I'm like, how do you $4 for a 40 of Steel Reserve?
Yeah.
Like,
When I was on my quest to get right as we hit our 1000th, and I knew I was going to be pushed to get 40s for it, and I started traveling down the road, getting to the bigger town. I hit my normal spot where I normally got Colt 45, and they don't stock it anymore. And I was like, now what the hell do I do? The only next place I know is like another 60 miles down the road. And I just didn't feel like doing that. So I actually used Siri, and I said, Siri, where can I buy a 40 of Colt 45 near me? And she brought up this random store I had never been to before. And drove over there. Boom. King Cobras, 2 rows deep. Colt 45s, 2 rows deep. And I was like, jackpot. I go to the counter and ask for a box because I'm going to really load up. And the people there were super, super helpful, super excited that I was buying this because it was New Year's Eve.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. And I actually made a really good connection. The guy that owns all these stores was there that day. And it was John Q's Liquor. He was a super cool dude, and he was all excited. And I said, "Listen, maybe we'll just shout you out on our podcast one time, and you can." He said, "Yeah, I'll repost it to my followers." So at first, all his little stores, he's probably got a half a dozen or better, and they only have like 100, 400, 500 followers per the store. But he has his main page that we had to request to join, and that one's got 4,000 something followers. So that's going to be really good for him to, put it out there.
Yeah.
And
Yeah. You told me about that. Then I saw it, and I saw that he followed me after that too. I'm like, oh, okay, that's the guy. I'm like, who's this random guy who followed me? And you're like, oh, yeah, that's the guy. That's the guy right there.
He brought up his phone. I told him right where to go to find you. Because I'm irrelevant. He doesn't even follow me. It's your show. I'm just here to, drink and
said, hey,
have someone to talk to.
Subscribe to the YouTube. Come on, subscribe, follow, and we'll shout you out. So,
but he was telling me about this cool little scavenger hunt that they have every year at his store in Louisville. It's close to around Derby time. And he was like, hey, come set up a booth, broadcast live from there. You can talk to all the guests. I'm like, oh, man, that's not my gig. That's Bob's gig. But maybe you got to come up here for Derby.
Hey, if he's going to put the offer out there for it, then
I think it'd be fun. It would be.
Yeah, so we'll see.
Yeah. Well, we got 4 months to think about it.
Yeah. And if not for that, maybe find some other way to to do it out there.
But I'm going to go back up there and see him. And apparently he owns the liquor store I go to here in this little town, and he pops in on Mondays. So I'm going to try to catch him on one of those Mondays and see if I can run into him again.
I was going to say, and then try to push him to see, okay, can you stock,
Yep. He said he would.
Yeah.
He said if I gave him a list and if he can get it, he'd get it for me.
Okay, good. See, that's what you want. That's what you like to see is the guys that are at the stores that will take the time to really work with the people or talk to the customers and put in the effort with it. So like you said, most people it's just like, okay, what do you want? And then okay, no, we don't have it, and then get out.
Yeah,
you say, screw you guys and your $4 Steel Reserve 40s, you bastards. I mean,
no, this guy he's probably the most excited and polite liquor store owner I've ever talked to. He was just genuinely excited about what we do here when I was telling him about it. It was a good interaction.
That's good. It's saying it's like, hey, look, we like the same thing as you. You run the stores. We consume the products from the stores. So it's a win-win. You can't go wrong with it.
Into that swell.
Yeah, that's that. It's that high gravity, and that's only the big one, the 25-ounce can.
Yeah. Normally I power through these really quick because I know what is expected. I've been sitting here talking and not drinking.
That's what happens. You got to focus on that, pound that down, finish that off.
Maybe I'm getting soft in my old age.
Yeah, it depends on the drink too.
Someone needs
Like I
to
said,
dethrone me.
I know Roadhouse is out here. He's pushing for that. The young buck to come up that wants to challenge
Yeah, likes to fill my
for the
shoes.
Edward 40 hands. Yeah, wants to give him a run for his money because we know it's been well documented how quick Roadhouse will drink his beverages here.
Yeah.
If it's if it's the bottle of Manischewitz, which I mean that's a great feat in itself, pounding that thing down quick. But that's different. That's a wine, so
It
it's a
is.
different
Oh, it
type
was
of
so
drink
good.
than
I
this. And
can't
yeah,
believe
it's
all
very
these
very
years we
sweet.
haven't drank that.
Yeah, there's very sweet, very easy to
Mm-hmm.
drink. Or going through like when we done the Four Locos, when Kevin was like, "Man, this guy Roadhouse. I thought I could drink quick, but
Yeah.
he's." You're like, I don't mean to.
I,
I'm
d-
not.
I
I'm not
don't.
purposely trying to drink it
I think
this
from that
quick.
day I've been self-conscious about that now because he brought it to my attention. I didn't know I drank like that.
Yeah. And I was sitting there watching the time, like, okay, when did I open this? Okay, it's been 10 minutes. Is it okay to finish now? And see, then you hesitate, and then it ends up getting warm on the bottom, and you
Yeah,
end up
that's what's
having
going
that
on right now.
situation now. So you just got to finish it off and move along.
I just thought that was, when we did the Manischewitz challenge and we had one of our followers that actually took out the time to actually time us
Mm-hmm.
on the bottle. I thought that was amazing.
Yeah, yeah. We had first off, we had our good buddy, a 40-ounce horror show, join
Yeah.
us for it because he's the one that brought it up and wanted to see how long it would take Roadhouse to drink a bottle of Manischewitz. And he was saying, 10 minutes. And then you were like, oh, maybe I can do it in 5. But
Yeah.
we were, but like as you said, we were chatting, we were BSing. Yeah, he was showing off his 40s. We were going through the collections. We were talking malt liquor,
Respect.
all this stuff. And then and then we had our friends reach out and say, hey, okay, here's the official time. Yes, I took the time to time this. That was 17 minutes it took
Yeah.
Roadhouse to finish the 750 milliliter bottle of Manischewitz wine. So
Not
how
bad.
long? I was gonna say we should probably get some bets out there to see how long. What's the over under
Oh, yeah.
on the Edward 40 Ans challenge of how long will it take Roadhouse to finish the two 40s? Let's get Vegas on the phone.
I'd like to keep it under an hour, even with all the talking.
Yeah, I think that's doable. I think that's a fair.
I think if it was just, once we started doing the Manischewitz challenge, we were having such a good time in that show. It wasn't even about how fast I could drink it anymore. Totally
Right.
forgot all about that until I was empty.
Right, and then there was yeah. There was no real official stopwatch on you to say, okay, how long can you? Because if you really wanted to,
I was
you could be
amazed
one of
at
those
his
guys
40
that
collection
just
and
goes
his malt
through and
liquor
it's just like,
knowledge. I was just amazed at what he had there, and was, a lot of that I haven't even thought of in years. I had it when I was a young man.
classic
Yes.
stuff, rare
And so
stuff.
I was kind of dumbfounded there for a little bit, just in awe. Like, oh, I
Yeah, so
remember that.
you're right. You're going through, you're watching, you're looking. You're not focused on drinking as fast
Yeah.
as you could. But if we get, like I said, if we have more people joining us for the 40 hands, now that's different because you can take the time then to kind of sit back and drink a little bit more if you don't have to sit there and talk as much. So you can kind of,
Right.
so how does that play into it? Does it take more time to drink it, or do you drink it quicker because you don't have to? It's a lot of variables that go into this. So it'll be interesting to see
Sure.
how it plays out there because, like I said, we've been talking about this and kind of pushing it and promoting it. So we're just waiting to lock down the date and the time. So that's why you have to subscribe
Yeah.
the Bum Wine Bob YouTube channel, because you never know when it will happen. I mean, we'll give you guys, we'll put the
We
word
hit
out
that
there.
goal before the end of the year.
Yeah, that
That's
was what we
amazing.
said. We said we were like, we hope to get there by
Yeah.
January 1st, and we hit it
Double whammy.
just prior to that. So he said, whatever brought you guys
Thank you.
to the dance, thank you, and we'll drink to that.
Bottoms up.
There you go. Get those last little sips there. Yeah.
I think I'm going to save this oil can for another day, because if I crack it now, I just feel like I'd be wasting it.
You're going,
I've
then
got
you're going over the edge.
Yeah, I actually have a really good buzz off this one can, and it's that place where I like to be.
Well, that's that
And I
high
don't like,
gravity. Yeah, because
yeah,
it's not just a regular. If that was just a regular tall boy of Colt 45
yeah,
at that 5.6, right. I got one of the can. Yeah, the 5.6 of
yeah.
the
I just
Colt 45.
This
But
is a special can. I know I could drink it, and we could probably talk for another 30 minutes or better. But no, I'm just going to hang on to it because I want to
look at
enjoy
you
this.
over there. Look at the Roadhouse here, showing some self control of holding. Look what I taught you over here, of saying,
Yeah,
wait. After all these times when we had to say, okay, here's what we're gonna drink this week, and you're like, I have to wait,
gotta
3
wait.
days. Usually, I would just drink. There you go. That was
Yep.
for Efren over there.
Yeah.
He said, I would drink this like right away. I'd buy it, come home, and I'd drink it right away. And I'm
Yeah.
like, no, you have to wait. Wait for it, and then
I've been
and
staring
then
at these 4 cans in the fridge, and it's just like, oh wow, I want to see what the difference is, because I've had 12-ounce cans.
Mhm.
I've had 12-ounce bottles of Colt 45. I've had quart bottles. I've had 40-ounce bottles. But never in my life I've seen this old can. So 12-ounce can Colt 45 around here come in 8 packs for $4.99.
Wow,
So
okay.
I drank 5 or 6 of those one night, and I woke up with a god awfulest headache, which has never happened to me. But I did. I had a headache, and it was just like, oh my gosh, what's the difference between this can and a 40? And then I
Yeah.
got my hands on some 12-ounce bottles, which was almost a religious experience when it comes to Colt 45, because it was just perfect. You could just throw one back, 2 or 3 big drinks, and they were gone. Ice cold, never changed temperature. It was like the perfect combination. I can still get them, but they're 100 miles away from me.
Yeah. Yeah, I still don't think I've never had the 12-ounce bottles. I
Yeah.
remember you saying when you first got those, you're like, man, these 12-ounce bottles of Colt 45 are great. You got to get them. I'm like, I
Yep.
wish I could. I mean, I can get the 12-ounce cans, 16-ounce cans,
Same place I
20,
was getting 12-ounce
24-ounce
cans of Blue
cans.
Bull.
Yeah, I'm like the rare, the one spot used to have the 22-ounce bottles, but they don't have that. That was the same place that had the double malt
I
before it.
miss double
Sadly,
deuces.
we missed. I still have one. I have one 24-ounce can left in the fridge for a special occasion.
Time
I'll
capsule.
have to save it. Yeah, for that. For that, but yeah, and I said I told, like I said before, I had that 130. I had that 132-ounce bottle one time on vacation. The
Mhm.
40s can get those, but yeah, those 12-ounce
Oh,
bottles I've still never
I left
found.
one out. I've actually had a 64-ounce of Colt 45 back in my
Really,
young days.
you had
Yes.
one of those when they were doing the 64
I got
ounces back in the
Yeah, I've
day.
had that and OE, both of them in 64 ounces.
Yeah, I mean, I
But that was back in 91 or 2.
I was gonna say that was in like the early '90s when they were
Yeah.
doing those, and like I said, I've seen those
I can remember going
pictures.
through the drive-through, because if you don't know what a drive-through is, you pull in the back of the building, drive your car through the whole entire building, tell them what you want, they give it to you, and drive out the front. That's a real drive-through inside a
Yeah.
garage. All right. So we were pulling through. He's about to order, get some 40s. And I seen that big 64 ounce. I said, "What is that?" He's like, "Oh, they just come in." I said, "I'll take that." No, that's a mistake. They had those and then I got one of those and a 40 ounce of Crazy Horse. And yeah, it's one of those nights I don't know I haven't.
I don't know, man,
Crazy,
but you had
Horse
it.
is good.
Like I said,
Yes.
I've only seen the pictures of the 64 ounce
It had a hook
bottles.
on it.
Like yeah, from on like 40ouncemaltliquor.com, they had the through all the lineup and those 64 ounce bottles of that. And
Yeah.
they're like, okay, yeah, in like the early to mid 90s, they had those, and then they got rid of them because I guess somebody finally said, do we really need to make a 64 ounce bottle that's a huge ass jug with a hook on it for people
Yes, you do.
to drink? Like, why can't they just buy 240s? Well, that you could, or we could just
Yeah.
buy 164 ounce and then be
Yeah.
really good.
So I'm going to date myself really well here. Back then, I worked in a junkyard. I was like one of the guys that stripped cars and everything. I was, 20, 21 years old, young man. And if anybody is my age knows what a Ford Escort is, but there was that car that was called the EXP, Ford EXP, which was basically an Escort with a longer hatchback.
Okay.
We got one of those in one time that was totaled, and it was a fresh kill. It came in. It was just been wrecked like within the month, and we were getting ready to pull it all apart and strip it down. And got looking through the interior, and there was 4 empty 64 ounce bottles of OE in the floorboards. And I'm like, I know why this guy flipped his car.
Yeah. I know how this car got totaled. Look at this in here.
Yes.
It's like, oh shit, man. Wow.
I'll never forget that. That was yeah.
You never know. I was gonna say, you never know what you might find out there. And like, as we say, you go out there, you search these stores. Some things might surprise you, and you might find something good, or you might end up like me and be pissed off and find out there's a place with $4 40s. But our good friend David, who you can follow at Mr. Malt Liquor on the Instagram of the world. He likes to send over these lists that people come up with of either bad beers, good beers, drink this, drink that, and we've covered quite a few of them over the past few months. And he sent me one the other day, a new one called "I've tried hundreds of cheap beers. My favorite might surprise you," and we'll go through here, and I'll share this for us to go through, and I don't know why they started at number 1 and go down to 10, so I'm gonna scroll it down.
Okay.
To the bottom, and let's see where we get to here. Oh, was there really that much? I thought. What did he? Okay, wow, this is really. I didn't realize this list was that long. It was 25. I don't think I scrolled this long the other night when I looked at it the first time. But so here we go. Let me do this here. Let me share this so we can go through and send here. So, like I said, he tried what they say. Now, somebody said they tried hundreds of cheap beers, and my favorite might surprise you. And as we said, we've gone through a lot of these lists recently, and we've had our comments about it, where we know that there's some that show up on these lists, and we're like, how are these on a bad beer list when they have a Colt 45 or an Old English or something? We're like, you have no idea what you're talking about.
Yeah.
But so I guess this is this guy's 25 top cheap beers. So starting at, I guess, okay, this is one. Okay, how do we choose the cheap beers? Let's see. You can get blah, blah, blah. Price differences. Okay, well, okay, let's see. Why should we trust this person. Brooklyn-based writer covering beer since 2018. Okay, she covers beer news and trends for outlets. Certified beer server. So it seems like this might be a real person. Other times we've been
Okay.
questionable of, is this really a real person or is it AI just throwing together some list of garbage out there? But so let's start here. Okay, number 25, Natural Light.
Go on.
Okay. Cheap beer. Can't go wrong. We got 24, we got Bush. Okay. You got your 23 Bud Light. It's out towards the bottom, which is, remember, we're going from bottom to the top, so I would probably put that down towards the bottom of my 25 list there. You got your Coors Light, easy drinking. Okay. Here we go. We got our Rolling Rock that we had brought up at number 21 recently. The easy drinking with lots of nice zingy carbonation Rolling Rock delivers.
Yeah.
So I think we can say we were talking a few weeks ago about Rolling Rock.
So far, he's kind of spot on. I kind of agree with where he's at.
We got you got your 20, you got Michelob Ultra, which is one that I can do without that. I mean, that's like the hip beer over the past 10 years. Then you got your 19, you got Miller Lite. I think that's a little low.
I think so too.
I would rank that higher on the cheap beer spectrum. You got one of your favorites there, the Old Milwaukee, number 18. Still low. I think that would be a little higher for both of us.
So it makes me wonder where we're going from here.
Yeah. So got now this one here. I didn't know the Modelo Light. I don't know. The Puerto Rico.
No, that's
one of those beers.
Modelo from Wish.
Yeah. So, now Old Style. Have you had Old Style before?
It's been a long time. It used to be around me, but it's not anymore.
Okay, because I've still yet to have an Old Style. I hear good things about it because that's like a Chicago beer.
Okay.
Well, I mean, it's Wisconsin, I guess, is where they brew it, but it really goes with Chicago because I always hear about that with the Malort. It's like the Old Style.
It's working man beer. It's like Milwaukee's Best is or Old Milwaukee. It's on that same line. You're going to get good volume for the price, and you're going to get the job done.
Yeah. So I haven't had that one still. It's on on the wish list of stuff to try. Okay, 15. You got the classic Bud.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. We got the Lone Star. Now, have you had Lone Star before?
I have not.
Okay,
I've only heard of it in lore.
I know that's that Texas beer, which I haven't had it either, but I hear good things about it. So that's another one I would love to try out and see. It's a little bit because I think that's cheap. Like you said, over a little bit over a buck a bottle.
Yeah,
is now brewed in Wisconsin as well. Crisp finish, making it the perfect barbecue partner.
Yeah. I see that beer and I think of Urban Cowboy.
Yeah. And here we go. Here, number 13. Wow. We got the red stripe. We got beer, hooray beer, right here.
Hooray beer. When I was a young man and seen Red Stripe, I always thought that was, it's an import, so it'd be like premium. Imports are always better than domestic beer.
Yeah. That was everybody always said. Yeah, like I said, when I had that 24-ouncer I picked up a few months back, and I drank it for the first time in a while, I was like, this is really a solid beer.
They are good.
And I haven't had any more since then, but it might be something soon that I might pick up because I think the price is decent. It's not too crazy, not too expensive. So
they have it around me. My problem with buying it is I'm pretty sure that 6-pack is old and I would have to drink through 3 or 4 6-packs for him to start cycling back
Yeah,
in
finally
newer
get some
ones.
more in. Yeah, you gotta
Or
get
I
the
could take
old.
the chance of drinking them up and then just put something else in the same
Yeah,
spot, like
yeah. Like, okay,
American
I
Rebel.
bought. Yeah, I was gonna say I bought all these. I'll come back next week and they'll be fully stocked with some new ones. And you come back,
Yeah.
it's like, sorry, we don't have any more Red Stripe. We now have this instead. You're like, oh
You mean
shit.
I
Okay.
played janitor for you?
Yeah, yeah. Oh, thanks for cleaning up the old shit for us. Oh, thanks.
Golly. Where are we at?
Okay, we got number 12. We
Yes.
got the Genesee Cream Ale. That's a solid, cheap
I got one of those
beer
back in the summertime, loved it.
back right there. I mean that, and when we're talking about bang for the buck, I mean this is I can still get like a 30 pack of these for like $18, and
Yeah.
that's a solid price. Solid price for that. So you can't go wrong with the cream ale.
Mhm.
Oh, there we got the Modelo Especial right
Yeah.
there.
I
Now,
love them.
see, I mean, I mean, it's no chelada or anything. It's just a regular, but you can't go wrong. I have
Yeah.
no issues with the regular Modelo there. There
So
we
in
got
my
number
area
10,
oh,
Yingling.
Yingling, yeah, I love that. In my area with the Modelo, that's actually taken place of, uh, Bud Light, uh,
Okay.
where the big boycott of Bud Light went on back
Yeah,
in
yeah.
the past. Modelo picked up the slack, and then they slap a freaking premium price on it now.
I was gonna say, I remember seeing that Modelo took over the spot,
Yeah.
or the sales went up for Modelo during the whole Bud
In
Light
my area,
crisis.
that's exactly how it
Yeah,
works.
and a lot of places too with it. But yeah, but then they see that, then like, oh well, now we're gonna increase the price on it, and it's like,
Yep.
come on, guys.
Come
Y-
on, man.
you're doing okay.
Come on, man.
Do you need to?
If
There
I
we
could
go.
quote our great president, Joe Biden, come on, man.
Like, do you need to raise it by $2-3? Come on, just leave it. 12,
Yeah.
$12, $12 a 12 pack. That's where we
So we
should
got
cap things
educated
off
on Yingling there. It's
out
not
there.
called Yingling, it's just
Yeah,
called lager.
yeah. Yingling traditional lager,
Yep.
great, solid beer. The Tecate, uh,
Okay.
I mean, I
I
don't
have
mind.
it around me, but I've never bought it.
I it's never been a go-to for me.
Yeah.
I've had the varieties of it over the years, and I had friends at times they would buy it for a barbecue or something,
Okay.
and it's good. It's like your Modelo, your Corona, the
It's
usual,
4.5%.
yeah, the usual
Perfect.
the Mexican
Yeah.
beer. Nothing offensive. It's a
So it's
solid
in the
beer.
top 10.
Yeah. So we're number 9, number 8. There we go. We got Hams,
Woo.
the classic, the cult
Yes.
favorite
Cool
beer
flavored.
right there. Look at that. The cult favorite. We love our hams here. You can't go wrong. Hams
No.
giving. The
Hams.
hams have a hammy new year. I was drinking one before last week's podcast. Here I did some cleanup here, so I don't have my 50,000 empty
Cans.
cans
I did the same
by me.
thing.
Yeah, I did take down my stack of the 24s since 24 was over.
Yeah,
I
it's over.
took them all down because they were blocking my TV down here. So I
It had
still
to be
kept
getting a little stale in there.
yeah. So I took them all. They're all in a box over
Yeah.
here. I'm not getting rid of them, but I put them all
Okay.
to the side for the time being. But yes, the Hams had, like I said, it does have a cult following. A lot of people
Yeah.
we have our friends over at the Chugs band who were trying to get a time for them. They'll be on the podcast. They love themselves some Hams. They love singing
Don't
songs
forget the
about
hams
hams.
guy.
The Hams guy, you got everything. So yeah, the Hams hat. I mean, you can't go
Yeah.
wrong with any of that. So Hams at number
Solid.
8, solid beer.
Yes.
And here we go, number 7, Coors Banquet, a favorite of both of ours there. The
Yeah.
banquet beers, the ubiquitous tossback option. Coors Banquet is like its older, cooler cousin. The Banquet is a retro golden can. a fuller lager versus a light lager flavor. It mixes a lighter and toastier malts and subtly fruity hops.
Yeah.
Solid beer. We love some I love banquet beer. You
I
can't go
love those
wrong.
bottled beers. They go down so good,
Yeah.
but they get you in trouble. That's why I don't spring for them too often. Just get the cans because
Yeah. Those little
that
stubby
bottle
bottles.
is a 1, 2, 3 drink bottle, and it's
Yeah,
gone.
it's funny because it's like it's 12 ounces,
Yes,
but it goes down so much quicker than a 12-ounce can of
yeah,
it. Like, how does this happen? I don't know.
it's
I
so
don't know.
smooth. Yes,
Yeah. So yeah, banquet beers. I always say we need to have more banquets.
all right.
Now,
I like your survey.
if I was gonna say if this was in a 40-ounce, I mean
Woo.
that would be great. I mean they got Coors. I got Coors Light 40 ounces around here. So
Uh-huh.
why not? Can we put Coors, Molson Coors? Can we put banquet beers in 40 ounces? I've been pushing Garage Beer. I've been constantly messaging them to say
Yeah,
because they're posting pictures of like the tall boy cans, and I'm like, that's great, but when can we get some 40-ounce glass garage beers?
there's still people that want 40s.
I know people want
And I
40s,
was
man.
like,
Just put
and
'em
that's
in
the
there.
conversation I had with the guy at John Q's. It's like, why are 40s disappearing? I mean, it's the perfect serving size.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to just drink one of these,
Yeah.
and then
I mean, who wants
you're
to get up
good.
and go to the fridge 4 or 5 times?
No, no,
You sit there with a 40 and a half a
exactly.
pack of Camel filters
Yeah.
and watch
I just want to
American
sit
Idol
back, relax,
reruns.
and then I know I want to. Then I know when I finish this, then I got to go up and pee, and then it's
Yeah.
time for another beer. So okay, so we had Coors Banquet at 7. Number 6, we have Shinerbach, which
Wrong.
I've I've only had it a handful of times. I've never been
I
a
see it. I
big
never
fan
bought
of
it.
it. I had a friend at one point that bought it, and I drank it, and from what I remember, it was good. But I don't know if
Well,
it ranks that. I would not rank it at number 6 on
I
my
mean, if people know what
cheap beer
Bach beer
list.
is,
Yeah,
I had an uncle that worked at a brewery, and he used to bring my dad Bach beer in a gallon milk jug when I was a kid, and we used to pull from it. And it's the bottom of the fermenter.
yeah,
After they pull out and bottle, it's everything at the bottom, and that's Bach beer, and totally different taste than what you get in these style beers. So,
yeah,
I was really excited when I first tried Amber Bach, and I'm like, this ain't Bach beer. But I've just kind of been I just don't buy it.
yeah,
I don't
yeah.
know. What's the word I'm
I've
trying to
never
use here?
I've never gone into a store, and I see this all the time, but I've never said, "Let me buy
Right.
this." And so, but I've had it, and from what I remember, it was decent. Wasn't
Yeah, yeah.
anything offensive about it. But at
Nope.
number 6, no, I wouldn't
Yeah.
put it there. Or this one
What's
here, number
Bohemian?
5, Bohemian Pilsner.
Yeah,
I've never
I've had that.
really
I've
okay,
had it over at a friend's house,
yeah,
and he's like, "Oh, you gotta try this," and it was good.
okay.
Now, I only had
I've
1
never had
bottle
it.
of it in my life, but yeah, I know the name, I know the beer.
Okay, yeah, I've never. And this is a Mexican Pilsner.
Yeah.
So I assume it's on the same line as your Modelo and your Corona type
The
beer.
the same night I had that, I had Valentine for the first time.
Okay, all right. So there you go. You see, number 4, Narragansett Lager. I've had this. This is solid. Um,
I've
I
never seen it before.
okay. This is like I think this is more of a. It's a Rhode Island. I think it's more
Okay.
of a Northeast beer.
I'd love
But
to try.
like I said, the true ideal of a lawnmower beer is what they're saying here,
Yeah,
which with
yes.
barbecue and seafood, yeah, because it's like the Rhode Island, Massachusetts, Northeast type beer,
Perfect,
and
perfect.
it's solid. It's a solid beer. I don't drink it that often, or really
Yeah.
that much, but it's good. Now, number 4, questionable
don't know. I
placing
mean,
on the list, but
I
not
love it describing itself as a lawnmower beer.
yeah, yeah,
I sold a John Deere zero turn so I could buy a mower with a steering wheel so I could drink beer
yeah.
while I'm
See,
mowing.
the
I,
necessities
I
right
took a
here. You
beating
see,
just so I could. I
exactly.
love that idea.
You got to do this and see it. We got number 3. We got Corona. I mean, I mean, I have no issues with Corona.
I don't
Uh,
either. I can
I,
just drink
I can drink it.
enough to sink a
I mean,
boat.
number 3 might be a little too high for it,
Agreed.
but it's one of those beers that if it's there, nobody's going to complain about it.
Yeah, I'd
It's
pull a
like
land shark before I'd pull that.
yeah, but I mean, it's like the everyman's beer
Sure.
of going
It's
through
one of
there.
them that it's a summer drink. You can drink as many as you
Yeah.
want. You'll never get wasted.
Exactly. Yeah, 4.6. You can't. It's just, like I said, it hits a sweet spot. So
I
you
think it's
can't go
lighter
wrong.
than that. It may say 4.6, but I think it's probably like 2.9 for as
Right.
much as I can drink.
Exactly. When you go through the whole process, yeah,
Yeah, a whole
'cause
case.
you can drink that 24 pack and still be standing at the end of the night. So
I was in a cornhole tournament once, and I literally drank a whole case of Corona, and I'm like, "Where's my buzz?" Because I was killing one between each round.
yeah,
It's
goes down quick. Goes
yeah,
down
it's
quick.
good. It's good. I'm
Yeah.
not dogging it,
Yeah.
but you ain't
Yeah.
getting drunk on it.
Hey. Okay. Number 3, Corona. Number 2. Oh, there we go. We got
There we
Pat's Blue
go.
Ribbon.
Oh yeah,
We got right here, right behind me
yes,
here.
that's my
You can't
love.
go wrong. The PBR. There's not much we can say about it. I'll agree. I have no qualms with number 2
Nope,
PBR
good
for
to
that
see it
one.
there.
Good decision right there. So that leaves one more
Am I going to get mad?
on the list. Am I gonna get mad? But it's like, God, I'm trying to
Better
think
be
of
High
what.
Life.
And number 1, there it is.
Yes,
Miller High Life, the champagne of beers right
yes,
there. The industry
rightfully
staple
so.
right there. Number 1 on the best cheap
Oh my
beers
God.
of 2025.
What's this
Right there,
guy's
the High
name?
Life. I think it was a girl actually. Was
Okay.
the what was it? It was
She have an OnlyFans?
Courtney Eisman, even though it was written for Men's Journal, so that's why
Yeah,
there could be confusion. Courtney Eisman,
love her.
right there, Miller High Life, the number 1 best cheap beer of 2025. I think we
So
say
it's just,
out of the list we've gone through, this is probably the best one we've seen
yes, yeah, I agree.
that we can agree with for the most part. I mean,
So hit the
most of the
top
beer.
5 real quick. We got High
We
Life,
got High
PBR.
Life, PBR, Corona,
Okay.
Narragansett, the Bohemia Pilsner,
All right.
and
So
that like
I'm not disappointed in that order. I don't know some of them, but I don't think Corona should have been up there. But
yeah. I mean,
hey,
it's
the
not.
top 2, she's spot on with that.
Yes.
For
The top 2 are definitely all in. Definitely, you.
good job. I'm glad Dave sent
It's
that
hard to
over.
argue those 2. Like I said, you said you had this one time, this Bohemia. I've
One
never
time.
had this before. I didn't know it existed. The Narragansett, I've had this and I see it, but I've never really gone out of my way to pick it up.
Yeah.
So I would probably rank this a little bit lower. But the overall top 25 list, can't really complain
I remember where I had
about it.
I had that in a Valentine. It's when I was in Englishtown, New Jersey,
Oh,
for a
okay.
car
All right.
car show, a get together, like back
Yeah.
in 2001.
Yeah. So for once, we get a list that we're not too upset about
Yes, agreed.
over here, and we can say, okay, hey, Dave, like, as Roadhouse said, thank you for giving us that
Yeah,
list of that, because he always sends me these lists, and we always bitch and complain about who says these are the worst beers or the best beers. Like, who does this? And he sent me this one the other day. And he's like, hey, here's a list that isn't half bad. And I kind of browsed through it. And I'm like, okay. So I said, okay, we'll discuss it on the podcast.
Yeah.
And I think we did it justice here today. So,
I agree.
We'll take it. We'll take
it. It was a good list. Yes.
Yeah, we'll take it there. And I got just that little bit left here of that St. Ides.
How you feel?
Finish this off. I got that buzz, man.
Yeah, that's
right.
right.
That buzz. That's that 8.2 right there.
Good job.
There we go. There's that St. Ides. There's that crooked eye right there. Well, no spoilers. I will not be drinking a St. Ides for the Edward 40 Hands Challenge, but if you want to, feel free.
So I know how I feel after 25 ounces of 8.1%. So you're 15 more ounces on me. So you got to be like in the zone.
Like, whew,
Ooh, yeah,
floating along there, you know.
Yeah.
You know, so hey, tell your friends.
Yes.
You know, subscribe to the Bum Wine Bob YouTube channel and join us for the live Edward 40 Hands Challenge. Within the next few weeks, we will have the date and time out there. We'll post it all over social media. If you want to join us in the chat, you want to heckle the contestants in it, whatever you want to do, it's up to you.
Yeah.
Tell your friends that we have you covered here on the podcast.
Big things coming up in the future. We got exciting news from a couple people.
Yeah.
We got
some goodies coming our
way. We got
we
good things lined up for the future, and I can't wait.
I know we got a lot of stuff coming up here, so just do us a favor. If you've made it this far, an hour and 11 minutes, 12 minutes into the podcast right now, tell your friends to subscribe to the Bum Wine Bob YouTube channel. It's free. Doesn't cost you a penny. Doesn't anything.
Drink with us.
Drink with us here. You want to drink?
Talk to your screen.
Tell your friends, yell. We'll be doing some more lives more often. We got the 40-ounce challenge coming up live, and we'll be doing.
Yes.
You never know. So you got to subscribe. You got to follow Bum Wine Bob on all the Twitter, X, Facebook, Instagram, you name it. Blue Sky. I'm out there. No matter where you can find it, we're out there. You'll find us out there for the podcast. So tell your friends that 1,000 is just a start. We're going to keep going and going. Even if it's just us blabbing back and forth, we're still going to be out here doing it.
We're going to do it anyway.
You might not stopping us. You're not stopping us out here. So, So subscribe and tell your friends about it. So, Roadhouse, anything else you want to say before we sign off here?
Just feeling blessed right now because we have some of the greatest P1s from the get-go. So, it's really exciting. Really happy to go into 2025 the way we are and what we got coming up.
Yeah, so get that. Tell your friends. Edward 40 Hands coming your way. So subscribe to the Bum Wine Bob YouTube channel. Get your 40s on hand. Doesn't matter what you want. You want King Cobra, St. Ides, Steel Reserve. Do it. Load them up there. Check out the website.
Go out and find you an old can of Colt 45.
And an oil can too. And we said you want to drink along with us. Doesn't have to be a 40. Just hang out, drink, have a good time. So hey, tell your friends. The best of the worst and cheap booze is right here on the Bum Wine Bob YouTube channel at bumwinebob.com. Spread the word. Edward 40 Hands coming your way soon. He is Roadhouse. I am Bum Wine Bob. And until next time, cheers.
Cheers. Motherfuckers.